All right, hello YouTube. Today's video, we're going to be answering the question of will we see all three Lannister children once again talking at once? Will we see that eventually happen in Winds of Winter, A Dream of Spring? What is the chances that we see those three characters together once again? This video is sponsored by a Patreon of mine, by Hunter. If you did want to become one, you do get videos early and also exclusive videos going into House of the Dragon. If you become a top Patreon, you do get to suggest a video for it. So thank you again, Hunter. And let's get into the video. So if this is going to happen, I think likely it's going to be A Dream of Spring. Winds of Winter, it seems way too early for anything like that to happen. I think the best and most likely chance is that we see Daenerys and Tyrion back in Westeros at Dragonstone by the very end of Winds of Winter or the very beginning of A Dream of Spring. So for those three to then meet up at some point, it's going to have to be in Dream of Spring. So if this is going to happen, this is what has to likely happen. So there's a couple of things that have to happen for this to occur. One of those options is young Griff has to lose against Cersei. Well, however that happens, that's not the topic of today's video. That has to happen. So Cersei survives. 2, Cersei has to then flee to Casterly Rock or be kept a prisoner and somehow live once again. Any way it goes, Cersei is going to have to defeat, or if she's going to lose, she has to be alive by the time that Daenerys and Tyrion come over. So then the point is it likely that we could see the three together? Yes, I think that there's a lot of stuff that is just not concluded yet with those three characters. And this is my biggest issue that I've always had is I think that it makes logical sense for young Griff to take King's Landing and then also to kill Cersei because all the bad actions she's done logically have led to a kingdom that is divided as hell. She's broken and severed her alliance with the Tyrells. It makes logical sense that young Griff would roll the castle and kill her. But let's say that she escapes, she gets to Casterly Rock, maybe Jaime meets back up with her or something like that, and then Tyrion and Daenerys then also have to treat with them. I think it could be a certain situation where the three meet on some equal ground, and there's a lot to discuss here, right? Joffrey is going to be pissed at Tyrion because she still believes that he killed Joffrey and that he killed Tywin and all this stuff. And on the same note, Tyrion is also going to hate the other two as well. So everybody here is going to have a reason to dislike the other. And will we ever see any resolution to those three characters? I think Jaime and Tyrion could find some common cause. In terms of the crimes between those two are not as severe. But the stuff between Cersei and Tyrion, I don't think will ever be solved. And so a conversation between three of these would almost feel like a child conversation. It'd be three people yelling at each other, trying to, give off their grievances, but not doing it in a productive way that could hopefully build up those relationships once again. I think a situation like this would end up leading with Cersei leaving quite early, right? Jaime has severed his ties with Cersei, and seeing the way Cersei, treats Tyrion and the way she is as a person, I think that she would just leave this conversation as a whole. But Jaime and Tyrion, it's quite interesting because Jaime would have to then look at Tyrion and go, why did you kill Tywin? I freed you so that you could kill my father. You destabilized the entire Lannister family. And Tyrion, in his own right, would fire back saying, he wanted me to die at multiple times. He used me, abused me, did all these things just because I was, smaller than everyone else, that I was a dwarf or an imp, whatever they want to call him in the story. So I think overall, those two characters could find some common ground, thinking about the Tysha reveal, thinking about, Jaime going, I understand it now better, right? The Tyrion's had no one that's ever been able to fully love him and accept him for who he was. And to have that be thrown under the rug and all of that stuff, and for Jaime to lie about what happened, I think Jaime will realize some of the issues that he did face there. And so I think Jaime and Tyrion would be able to find that. But would Jaime then be allowed to go with Daenerys' cause? This is the guy that murdered Daenerys' father. There'd be so much to talk about in terms of Daenerys being who Tyrion is now serving at this point. Something that, Hunter also thought maybe I should do a video on, or gave me a second option of, was Tyrion the person that's going to betray, Daenerys in all three accounts? I don't know, but if he does, it's going to be because of, this common ground, finding, his love for Jaime, back and all of that stuff. But Jaime is going to be viewed as one of the biggest enemies of Daenerys. And so Jaime and Tyrion maybe will talk about that difference and how, things have progressed as Tyrion's gone through slavery and all these things, and how Jaime has become kind of the person leading the Targaryens, and how Jaime in his own right, his arc with Stoneheart and all of that will be concluded. That'll be very interesting as well to kind of think about, that their journeys will have a lot of stuff they won't explain to each other. But I think Cersei is the one that just doesn't make the most sense in this conversation, given that she will dislike both of them, Jaime and Tyrion, because Jaime has done a lot of actions that have led to things that Cersei does not like. Jaime did not come to help her at King's Landing, and so she's going to hold that grudge against him as well. She's going to wonder when her children die where Jaime was to help them and, allow them to live on, because Jaime, for all three of her kids dying, will probably not have even been there. That's something that she holds against him. It's not like in the show, where in the show Jaime was there when Joffrey died. Jaime was not there yet in the book when Joffrey died. He finds out about that later on. So a lot of that will be coming to the forefront with this conversation, but I don't know what else I can go with in terms of what the consequences of this conversation would be, what things would be going on. But that is my best shot at answering your question, Hunter, and what I think how the characters would interact. But let me know how you guys think if these characters will ever interact again, or what they would say in their conversations. But I hope you guys all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.